Hey UFC fans, I have a question for you, and I'm really interested to know what you guys think in the comment section because I really don't know what to think about this. Well, I have an idea, but again, hear me out. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is Colby Covington's career officially over? There's a lot of variables that I want to touch on. We're going to get into those in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about Colby Covington. So, obviously, Colby Covington just put on that absolute stinker of a performance with Leon Edwards. And you know what? I understand the people talking about how it's Leon Edwards as well. I do believe it was both fighters, but Colby Covington was always one of those fighters who, no matter what trash he was talking, no matter if he disappeared for 2 years before we saw him a month before his fight, he would always bring it when it comes to the octagon. This time, he just sat there and pretty much did nothing. And this was majorly important because he went with that little extra line with the trash talk. He was talking so much crap. And for him, usually he goes in there and he backs it up. But for him, he sat there, did the little iCarly stance. You know how everyone's really making fun of Sean Strickland for having the iCarly stance? Colby Covington did it better. He just did this and didn't do anything except throw some low kicks. Yeah, I get he was probably nervous. This is something that I was talking about before the fight actually took place. He was probably nervous, and that's one of the reasons why I was kind of leaning against him in my pick. But he can't do that. This is his final opportunity, or it was his final opportunity to win a UFC title. So here's my other question for you. Can Colby Covington ever get back to a title shot? Honestly, he's kind of been put in a Max Holloway type situation where no matter who he fights, and you know Colby, he's not going to be taking on the Shavkat Rakhmanovs. He's not going to be taking on the Gilbert Burns of the division, the Jack Della Maddalenas. He already wants to fight Wonderboy Thompson. Like Colby, it's so obvious that Colby Covington just wants a shortcut back to the top of the division. Wonderboy is an easy fight for him. That's not going to get him to a title. He will need to literally steamroll the rest of the division. And on top of that, Leon Edwards probably doesn't, he probably has to lose his belt for Colby to even, attempt to have an idea to come back. On top of that, Colby Covington is almost 36 years old. How many fighters in those divisions win a title? I think, Alexander Volkanovski is the only one. That's just off the top of my head. I could be totally wrong on that. But the odds are completely against Colby Covington. But I have one singular idea for Colby on how Colby can save his career. Colby Covington could go down to the 155 division. We know at the weigh-ins, he looks healthy. We know he barely cuts weight. We know that this dude can make 155. This dude can actually make a serious run at 155, in my opinion. If he fights like he did, maybe not. But he has all the wrestling technique in the world to hang with the guys like Arman Tsarukyan. Have you seen the way this guy scrambles? No matter how tired he was, no matter how nervous he was, Kamaru Usman couldn't keep him down. Leon Edwards couldn't keep him down. He was always scrambling. Every single time he touched that mat, he was moving. He was getting out of position. He was trying to get on top. It was working out for him. I just wish he tried, man. But think about it. Think about the potential of the matchups in the lightweight division. You have a top contender fight ready for you at UFC 300. Yeah, he could heal up before then. I don't know what I was thinking. He barely took any damage. I was thinking about his leg. UFC 300. Colby Covington drops down, fights Dustin Poirier. That's all the trash talk in the world. Colby Covington can get under Dustin Poirier's skin enough where the fans can rally behind Colby. And this is a big problem that I also wanted to touch on, and one of the big reasons why Colby's career actually might be over. Colby's trash talk doesn't hit the same anymore. Like I just said, no matter what, Colby Covington was always one of those fighters who was going to bring it to his opponent. Win or lose, he's coming in there, he's trying to come in there, take your head off, dominate you. That didn't happen. All he did was talk and then lose. It wasn't even a fight. So all of the fans are kind of turning on Colby Covington a little bit. I'm a fan of Colby Covington. I find him hilarious. No matter if Colby Covington wins or loses, I will sit back and I will enjoy Colby Covington and his trash talk. That's just, I find it funny what he does. He has that Xbox 360 kind of trash talk. I find that type of trash talk hilarious, to be honest with you. But I'm no longer going to look at Colby the same. I'm going to look at him like he's a fighter that's completely out of his prime. He's almost 36 years old. He may talk this big game, but he's going to go in there and kind of not back it up. It's kind of funny because turning into Jorge Masvidal a little bit with that, oh, I'm going to take this dude's head off. I'm going to come in there and rip this individual piece by piece. I'm going to rip every limb from his body, And then he just comes in there and does nothing, Masvidal. It's funny how that kind of turns around, isn't it? But still, I don't think Colby Covington has any future in the welterweight division. Plus, it's going to be hard to beat those guys. Take a look at all the top contenders besides maybe Wonderboy. And Wonderboy's not even a top contender. Shavkat. He could beat Bilal Muhammad, but not if he fights like he did. Leon Edwards. The problem is Colby Covington with his style, if he comes in there and actually lives up to the name Chaos, I wholeheartedly believe he can beat everybody. Everybody online this entire week has been talking about how overrated Colby Covington was. I completely disagree with that. He just didn't fight how he was supposed to. We've all seen those fighters have those types of performances, like Israel Adesanya. Comes in, does nothing, and we know what Israel Adesanya is capable of. I know Israel Adesanya is obviously a better fighter than Colby Covington, but you kind of get the point that I'm making. I still wholeheartedly believe that this guy is one of the best welterweights in the division. Age may have caught up with him. If his cardio doesn't hold up anymore, then I don't think that's the case, because that's what he had over everybody. He had dominance. But the only way that I could see Colby Covington saving his career, one, he needs to get a win. Against who? It doesn't even matter, even if you beat a Wonderboy. Fight somebody at the lower ranks in the lightweight division. Fight somebody around 10 to 15. Any one of those guys. Pick one, beat them. You can be bigger than them. You can out-wrestle them. You can come in. You can overwhelm these guys. You can compete with the lightweights. Cut weight, get down there, talk your crap, win. And it is in a must-win situation. If Colby Covington loses again, he's done. And if he wins and continues to win, he can actually make his way up to a title shot. Could you imagine Colby Covington fighting Islam Makhachev? That fight actually comes and takes place, but it's Colby Covington down a division. That could wholeheartedly happen. Colby can make the weight. That's, in my opinion, the best next move for Colby Covington. But this is where I'll leave it up to you guys, because I'm actually quite interested. What do you think about Colby Covington? What do you think about his career? Do you think his career is over? Do you think his fans will always go back to Colby Covington no matter what? Let me know what you think down below, guys, and thank you so much for watching this video. On the screen right now, if you'd like to continue watching the Clenbat channel, there'll be 2 videos on screen for you to check out. I will see you either there or in the next video, everybody. Take care.